Okay, I think we left off with nanocytes and nematocysts. One more?
Yeah, we're
Top five classes. So did we get through class Anthozoa? No, maybe?
No.
I think we started. All right. So the final section about cnidarians is the different classes or types of cnidarians. I probably shouldn't ask. Of course, yes. No, absolutely not. The last edition only had 4 classes, so kind of cool that they've added a 5th class within the last 10 years. So Anthozoa kind of means floral or flowers, so sea anemones, corals, found on the bottom of the ocean floor. Of the 5 classes, they are the largest class. You can see that their polyp differs from some of the other polyps that we saw. I think tentacles are hollow, gastrovascular system is packaged or compartmentalized by clear tissues called mesenteries. I was discussing coral reefs, how they provide habitats and homes for crustaceans and fishes, how they help take the brunt during like tropical storms, act like a buffer for islands. And then I think I was trying to explain the global climate change. So the temperatures of the oceans are increasing, and there is CO2, carbon dioxide, that's dissolved in the oceans. In fact, it's the largest carbon sink. I mean, that's where you find most of the CO2. So when warm water rises, bringing that CO2 with it, it gets released into, no, that's not what I wanted to say, but anyways, sorry. So the CO2 levels in the ocean rise, I guess is what I was trying to say, because there's more rain, precipitation, dissolves the calcium carbonate in the water, making it less available, so they can't build their structures, and we start to see the chloral bleaching. I completely botched that section. Okay, here we go. Second class, here we go. Class Cubozoa, box jellies. So they're called box jellies because of their box-like shape. And then they have tentacles hanging off from each corner of that box. Another class is Hydrozoa, also known as the hydroids. They have both a polyp and a medusa stage. Polyp stage is colonial, it lives with other polyps. Some are bioluminescent. And for those that have seen the movie 7 Pounds with Will Smith, the Hydrozoa is the jellyfish that he uses. I think it's called the Portuguese man of war. So.
Is that when he's in the bathtub?
Yep.
So you know how people can like rinse jellyfish in their house?
Yep.
Do you think it's a lot of work?
A lot of work.
Like maintenance wise?
I think maybe just cleaning the tanks. Otherwise, drop in a fish or 2, whatever, crustaceans, whatever they want to eat. Okay. Okay, the class.
Really quick?
Sure.
I'll just take a picture. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Cypherhazola, the jellyfish, probably the most, familiar of all the classes. The Cypherhazola actually means bell-shaped. So you can see that in the pictures down here. They have muscles that work together that help them move water in them so they can move, kind of propel themselves through the water. And then the fifth and final class of the cnidarians is the star jellies, or class Staurozoa. This is the new class. I've never even heard of these guys before. The reason it's separated, it looks like a medusa, but it's attached to a substrate with a stalk. You can see that stalk there. And there's that stalk down here. Yeah, so these are the new class.
The sirens are going off now.
That's not good. Wait, it's Wednesday, but it's not 1 o'clock.
And Stefan have first Wednesday of the month.
Nope.
Then probably car accident really nice. Was it icy for you? Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah, the
Really?
lake was really bad.
Like by Brian Johnson's house. I almost went off the road.
Well, on the main street by like Mark's and the white gas station, I slid through the.
You did?
Yeah. I wasn't
My
even going
road
that.
was not icy at all.
Really?
Yeah. It was just really windy. Yeah, the wind, it catches right around that curve by Brian Johnson's, and that's where all the ice is. So it pushed me, and then the ice slipped, and then I was like, ooh, sheesh.
It's the bridge of 27.
Okay. All right, so that does it for the cnidarians. Summary picture: Anthozoas, coral sea anemones. Our Cypherhazoas, bell-shaped. The new ones, the Staurozoas, stalked jellyfish. Box jellies, Cubozoa, and then Hydrozoa is our Portuguese man of war. Okay, moving on to the Ctenophoria, the comb jellies. So, in our journey of animals, we knocked off sponges, okay, the phylum Paraphora. And then we went into our radial creatures, animals, with the cnidarians. The Ctenophoria, 10 years ago we thought they were radial, but now they are in question as to whether or not they are radial or bilateral, because they have like triploblastic. Are they diploblastic or are they triploblastic? Well, they think it's triploblastic because they actually have some muscles. But the comb jellies are exclusively marine. We only find them in marine ecosystems. They don't have any nematocysts, so that's why they're not considered cnidarians. So instead of these specialized cells, like the nematocysts, they have a different set of specialized cells called colloblasts. And I'll talk about them, I think, on the next, no, they're on this page here. Colloblast. Basically, they're sticky cells that help them grab and capture their prey. Another unique characteristic of the comb jellies is that they have 8 rows of comb-like plates. It's basically fused cilia, and they coordinate with each other. And when you look at them, or when pictures are taken of them, it scatters light, so they almost look iridescent. They also have 2 long retractable tentacles, and you'll see that on the next slide. And they are a little bit more complex than our cnidarians because they actually have an anal pore. So they have a mouth and an anal pore. So water and other substances, waste products, can exit the body. Whereas with the jelly, the mouth kind of served as both mouth and anus. So it captured its prey, digest the food, and then expel whatever it didn't want back out the mouth. So you can see in our family tree, there's our sponges, the Parazoas. We talked about the Cnidarians and the 5 classes of them, and here's the Ctenophoria. That's the only slide about the Ctenophoria. So here's a picture. This is showing this is what they look like. These are the 2 retractable tentacles. You can see the 8 fused cilia plates within them. Zooming in on the specialized cells of the colloblast, you can see it has some type of adhesive granule that will kind of shoot out, kind of like the harpoon of the nematocyst, and grab its prey and bring it into the mouth. Here are some real-life pictures of it. You can see that they are iridescent, translucent. So, yeah. Review questions. True or false? Nematocysts are the most complex structures secreted by single animal cells. It's true, yes. The larval stage of a cnidarian is known as a... Not medusa. B, planulae. Okay, which of the following classes has an endosymbiotic relationship with a dinoflagellate? Coral reefs. It's A, Anthozoas. Yep. Okay, moving on to, we're done with radial symmetry. So now we're moving on to bilateral symmetry. Bilateral.
I have a question, really quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so on my notes it says that the Cnidarians those ones are grouped into 5. But I only have the box jellies, the jellyfish, the hydroids, and the star jellyfish. Am I missing one?
Did you get Anthozoas?
Oh yeah, okay.
I think.
Yeah, I just folded it weird.
Okay. Okay, so bilateral. So distinguishing features about them, and then talk about the organisms that really don't have a body cavity. So the acial flatworms are a little bit different from some other flatworms that we're going to discuss today, the platyhelminthes. So these are flatworms that do not have a body cavity and don't even have a pseudo cavity. Like, it's just, they don't have it. It's completely filled in with tissues. This is relatively a new branch because I don't remember this in our last edition. So originally they were grouped with the platyhelminthes, which is these flatworms that we're going to talk about in the next section, or next chapter. But based on, again, molecular evidence, genome sequencing, they realized, oh, hey, they look the same, but they're not closely related, and so now they are considered a sister taxon. So the bilaterals are actually composed of 2 clades. These guys, the acial flatworms, and then the clade comprising of protostomes and deuterostomes, which will branch off even further. So this is like the first branch of bilateral organisms. So no body cavity, and then their nervous system is just a network of nerves, a minor concentration of some neurons at the anterior region of the body. So we're starting to see that cephalization process here, but it's not as sophisticated as we'll see in some other species. All right, well, that's the only slide about these guys. So, review question. Seal flatworms. Finish the statement.
Is it D?
It is D. They are the sister taxon. Okay.